I think I got the mic on. All right. Again, I'm gonna do some arrows for a friend. So he's got us an old arrow for a good measurement. His new arrows, he went with Easton Axis, 5mm. We've got our hit epoxy for the inserts. We got the inserts. We got a dish to mix it in. We got the tool and the grinder. Toothpick. Q-tips. Rubbing alcohol. And then he also wants on them these white wraps. So we're gonna put some white wraps on there. And then I got a little sheet that I keep to make sure those wraps go on straight. Paper towels for obvious reasons. Okay, and I don't know if I said that already. We got our Weston arrow saw. Got it hooked up to the vacuum, so we should be good to go. Okay, so let's get these things cut up. We're gonna get them cut up and get the inserts in tonight. The vanes are not here yet. They're supposed to be here tomorrow from Lancaster, so we'll finish getting that tomorrow. Make sure that's just touching. Okay. I already adjusted that last night. So we should be good to go to start cutting these things. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire that vacuum up. Got those all cut. Notice as I was doing that, I was spinning the arrow. Okay, you want to make sure you're spinning that arrow as you're going into that arrow saw. If you go straight in, you're going to end up with an edge and stuff on it. Just keep spinning it. It'll end up cutting all the way through. So we got the arrows all cut. They are the exact same length as the old arrow. Okay. So we're done with the arrow saw. Might come back and spin it later, but I want to get it all set up before I do any spinning on it. So we can dispose of these. These are not needed anymore. Next step, we are going to get the inside of these arrows cleaned out so that we can put those inserts in. Alright, so all I'm going to do here is get my rubbing alcohol. Get my Q-tip wet. Just go in here and start cleaning the insides out. They're going to be very dirty at first, so you're going to want to make sure to get them nice and clean. Usually 1 or 2 swipes is pretty good. Okay. Get a paper towel here. It's probably a little excessive, but I usually like to do 1 Q-tip per arrow. Tyler and I started doing this. Well, Tyler actually started building his own arrows before I did, but he kind of got me going on it, and I've really enjoyed it. That Q-tip's a little big. I've really enjoyed it, so it's just something I enjoy doing, kind of for a hobby, I guess. Everybody's got their things they enjoy doing, and we enjoy archery, building arrows, setting up bows. Doesn't really matter, we just like doing it all. Which is why I'm setting these arrows up for somebody else, I guess. I think he'll like them. They're going to be pretty sweet. He's got some silver fletchings coming. I'm going to use boning heat. And yeah, I think they're going to look awesome. Okay, so those are done. We'll give them a minute to dry here. Make sure they're good and dry on the inside. We'll get this arrow saw cleaned up real quick while that happens, and then we'll put those inserts in. Actually, I think I changed my mind. I'm going to put the wraps on first. That way, once I have the epoxy and those inserts in, I just don't have to mess with them for the rest of the night. So we're going to do the wraps first, actually. Okay, what I got going here is I have a wrap already cut to the length of a blazer heat, which is what he decided he wanted to use. So what I am going to do is measure that and cut some more. 11, 12. I do like to, before I do this, just clean that area off that we're gonna apply this to. It's usually not real dirty, but use some rubbing alcohol and get that area good and clean. That's one. Good. This part tends to be a little tedious just because you gotta be careful. Make sure you get everything on there straight so you don't have to take it back off. Alright, so there we are. We have all 12 of them done and wrapped. Now the only other thing I gotta do is get some inserts in and they're ready to go tomorrow with the vanes. Alright, so last thing I have to do for tonight is I'm gonna get this epoxy mixed up and we're gonna get these inserts put in so they can sit overnight. So, you don't have to rush too bad with these because being an epoxy, it's going to take a while to dry anyways. I'll grab an extra paper towel here. I actually forgot to do this. So we're going to take this and we're just going to dip just the end without covering up that hole. Hey, you don't want to cover that hole up. And like the twist while I'm inserting that. In and out a little bit. We're going to go just so it's just about all the way in. Did pretty good on that. Wipe off the excess. Then we're going to take our tool and go ahead and put it all the way in. Double check with that other side, it didn't pull out, and we're good. So that one's good. We want that to lay perfectly flat for 24 hours before that's used, preferably. And on to the next one. Can't even tell it's in there. We're done. Okay, so we will let those dry 24 hours. It's not actually gonna be a full 24 hours. When I get home tomorrow, I'm gonna go ahead and start fletching them, but we'll let them sit there and dry for 21 and a half hours. And then they should be good to fletch at least. I would wait the whole 24 before I shoot, but as far as fletching them goes, that's not gonna hurt anything tomorrow. So tomorrow get our veins in. Get those things fudged up.